The end is near for Uranus. Ice Behemoth is on a collision course with the most powerful planet within the solar system, Jupiter. Well, let's learn more about two of our planetary prizefighters slightly superior. It's true, before they could possibly get blasted away forever. Hello and welcome to KYC News. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Jupiter comes first. Biggest planet the solar system in. Combined all the other worlds, nonetheless twice as large. Yet this hideous thing lacks a stable surface. Almost exclusively gas, comprised primarily of helium and hydrogen. In the other ring corner to be Uranus. Despite being 3 times smaller, less massive than Jupiter by 20 times, the third biggest planet is this one. The solar system in. Hence, don't be deceived by the size disparity. Uranus has an atmosphere made of hydrogen and helium. There is a lot of water ice present. As a result, Uranus isn't a Jupiter-like gas giant, it's a big iceberg, comparable to its neighbor Neptune. Among every planet within the solar system, Uranus is special. On its side, it turns. All because of a thing the size of Earth that collided with it few billion years ago. In addition, the biggest crash when it comes to collisions finished with Uranus being struck upside down. Before we witness this huge catastrophe, let's pause a moment to acknowledge our sponsor, Shaving by Henson. Hey, shaving is a routine aspect of our life, yet these little plastic blades have a significant impact on the surroundings. I used to consume a few dozen a day. Every year of these razors. Several of us do. But where does all that trash plastic go? From the restroom to the dump, where it is kept for years, unable to lose it, further polluting our globe. Nonetheless, Henson's shaving my carbon footprint is diminishing. And having the most amazing shave of my life. Henson's equilibrium is flawless. Razor AL13 supports the cutting edge of the blade, offering me a close shave while maintaining a tight line. The double-edged blades are made without plastic, so that when you need to replace them, put them in the recycle bin immediately. Look at this razor, too. That was constructed using aerospace standards. Henson used to produce, I guess, parts for aircraft. Even aided in component construction regarding the Mars rover. And now, all the skill and attention which is going into this razor, your final razor purchase. Where can you buy yours then? Please visit hensonshaving.com. Then input "what if" during checkout. For 100 totally free blades after purchasing the AL13. Simply choose your preferred color for the razor. Include the 100 blade pack at checkout, and then input the code. A Henson razor is made to endure forever. Nevertheless, if these planets collide, that assurance might not be kept. Probably, you don't track location of Uranus in the nocturnal sky. Nevertheless, if you did, you would be in for understanding the frigid planet has in some way departed from its normal orbit. Starting the countdown to collide when it approaches Jupiter. First, Uranus would require to avoid being seriously injured given the nearby gas behemoth, Saturn. With its numerous moons and beautiful rings, Saturn is 2 times bigger. Like the foul blue planet. Nonetheless, the two planets have a lot in common: pulls caused by gravity. Hence, as they barely brush past each other, Uranus might become gathering up 1 or 2 moons to supplement its existing a group of 27. When would Uranus be falling rapidly onto its rival? The clearer it is as you approach closer, the image would eventually of how extraordinary that opponent is huge. Jupiter is larger than 20 times the size of Uranus. Furthermore, even if it doesn't formally possess a surface, the surface gravity of it is stronger than twice as much. Perhaps Uranus was barking. Incorrect planetary tree, but it's too late now to go back right now. Moreover, you have the front rows to this great battle. It wouldn't go easily. The right way up enters the atmosphere of Jupiter. Then, Uranus would have to push its way through a few of the 80 moons of Jupiter. Initially, these Pasiphae, I suppose. Here, there wouldn't be any cause for concern. Pasiphae is a little creature. There are over 60 instances, less massive than our moon. Uranus would directly pass over it, as well as the ongoing minefield moons of Jupiter, absolutely unharmed. The planetary heavyweights are now, would be advancing. Nevertheless, how this collision might play out rely entirely on Uranus' impact's inclination. If it could only manage in order to orbit Jupiter, then there would be two on a collision path with each other. In this instance, planetary atmospheres on both would constrict as they rubbed shoulders. As a result of this, their respective temperatures fast expanding after that. Boom. No, I'm not serious. No oxygen exists on either planet, so they wouldn't burst into flames or explode. But if you're just in it, relax about the spectacle. It collided would nonetheless be terribly bloody. Together, the two planets would they made full contact, uniting their masses. In the process, such as a Uranus, possibly a Jupiter. But there was one thing that would never occur. If Jupiter were to become a star, to turn into a brown dwarf, it should be weighed 13 times as much as it does right now, 85 times more, or if it desired to develop into a low-mass star. Nevertheless, including Uranus' accumulated experience would only grow by a small portion Jupiter's mass. Now that it's more probable Uranus would side impact Jupiter, then this collision would start, with the two atmospheres squeezing together. Yet, rather than combining to combine, they would both essentially be unharmed. Nonetheless, have many of their gases flung into outer space. Hence, following this epic encounter, we would still have in the solar system, there are 8 planets. Even though these two they do appear somewhat different. Jupiter would appear a slimmer variation of what it once was big, bloated self, and Uranus could ultimately become hardly more than a good rocky interior clad in water and nitrate. If events proceeded in this manner, then that might disappear. Saturn will ascend to the throne. Most massive planet the solar system in. I guess that has me thinking. What would occur suppose the two gas giants in all their former grandeur collided? That's a tale for another what if, I suppose. Not even close. If you take all the remaining mass of the solar system and put it into Jupiter, it wouldn't be enough to make it a star. The lightest known category of stars are called brown dwarf stars, and they tend to have between 13 to 80 Jupiter masses. So we would need between 13 to 80 Jupiter mass planets to come together to stand a good chance of making the lightest of the known categories of stars, although there is some debate about whether brown dwarfs are actual stars or substellar objects. Jupiter alone has 2.5 times the mass of all the other planets in the solar system combined. Jupiter is over 300 times the mass of the Earth, and the Earth has about 4 times the mass of the Moon. The entire asteroid belt combined is just 4% of the mass of the Moon, and the Kuiper belt is just estimated to be 1/25th to 1/10th the mass of the Earth, so we can safely say these areas of the solar system's mass is negligible compared to the mass of the planets. By comparison, our Sun is 1,000 times more massive than Jupiter. There just isn't nearly enough mass left over in the solar system after the Sun formed to make another star. For less than about 1/12 solar mass, the core becomes degenerate before the temperature rises high enough to start fusion. These failed stars become the brown dwarfs and can't sustain a fusion reaction. The Sun is approximately 1,000 times the mass of Jupiter, the most massive of the 3 gas giants you stated. Even if we add Saturn into the mix, there wouldn't be enough mass to start a new star. What about a brown dwarf? You say? You would settle for occasional deuterium fusion even if not sustained? No good news either. Together, all four gas giants in our solar system have a combined mass of around 1.4 that of Jupiter. The smallest brown dwarf we have detected thus far is around 13.5 Jupiter masses, almost 10 times that size. The theoretical mass limit for deuterium fusion is at around 13 Jupiter masses. Thanks for watching and see you on next video.
Yeah, yeah.